Many years ago, my dad and I came up with our own electric guitar design. We started with a blank sheet of paper, experimented with numerous different body shapes, and eventually discovered something rather interesting. The more practical problems we solved, the more our guitar began moving towards something resembling a Fender Stratocaster. And all the current controversy surrounding Fender's cease and desist letters and the developing legal dispute with Thomann over Harley Benton guitars, I thought this might provide a slightly different perspective. The basic question is this: is the Stratocaster body an original work of art that Fender should be able to protect? Or did Leo Fender arrive at one of the most efficient solutions to the practical problems of designing a solid body electric guitar? My dad had already made several amazing art shop guitars, so we assumed that making a solid body electric guitar shouldn't be too difficult. We began with a blank piece of paper and made rough prototype bodies from various inexpensive pieces of wood so that we could see how our ideas worked in reality. Here are just a few examples of the many shapes we tried. At first, it seems as though a solid guitar body could be absolutely any shape you like. But once you begin designing one, you discover that there are an enormous number of practical decisions to be made. The neck, scale length, bridge and pickup positions establish much of the guitar's central geometry. The body then needs to sit securely on your leg without constantly sliding away from you. You need access to the upper frets. When you attach a strap, the instrument needs to balance properly and hang in a comfortable playing position. You need contours for your picking arm and body so that the edges of the guitar aren't digging into you. The volume and tone controls and the pickup selector need to be within easy reach, but preferably not so easy that you keep hitting them accidentally. You need space for the bridge or the tremolo system, an output jack and the electronics. The electronics also need to be accessible for assembly and repair, whether that's through a scratch plate or a rear cavity. The neck joint needs to be strong without obstructing upper fret access. The body needs enough material to be structurally sound, but it cannot be unnecessarily large or heavy. And after solving all of these problems, it still needs to look good. Clearly, the Stratocaster is not the only possible answer. Les Pauls, SGs, headless guitars, and many modern designs solve these problems in very different ways. But after making and refining numerous prototypes, guess what conclusion my dad and I reached? Leo Fender had come remarkably close to the perfect shape for the type of guitar we were trying to create. We hadn't set out to copy a Stratocaster, but each time we solved a practical problem, our design moved a little closer towards it. That brings me to the analogy that has been going through my mind. When you optimize a wheel for rolling, it becomes round. Nobody can reasonably say that every round wheel copies one particular wheel, because the shape is largely dictated by its function. So, when you optimize a solid body electric guitar around this particular set of requirements, how much freedom is genuinely left? Now, this analogy obviously has limitations. A guitar allows far more creative variation than a wheel, and none of this means that another manufacturer should be allowed to trace a Fender body exactly, change the name on the headstock, and claim to have created an original design. Fender says that it isn't targeting every double cutaway or two-horn guitar. Its stated focus is on instruments that closely or completely replicate the precise Stratocaster design. This distinction is important. Fender should be able to challenge counterfeit instruments and exact replicas that are deliberately designed to trade on its identity, but trying to control the broader S-style category after more than 70 years of industry-wide use feels much more harder to justify. Somewhere between anything with two horns and an exact tracing of a Stratocaster, there must be a sensible line. The difficult question is, where should that line be drawn? I would genuinely like to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help and is very much appreciated. So thanks for watching and bye for now.